it's time for Bet On It, brought to you by Warhorse Sportsbook, the best place in Nebraska to place your sports bets. Make sure you get to the casinos in Lincoln or Omaha to place your bets in person. And make sure you get to warhorsecasino.com to check out all their promotions and a full list of details and house rules. That's Warhorse Sportsbook, no bets, no glory.
My other diehard Michigan fan is lockstep in agreement with Mitch.
About it,
He said it's a coaching issue.
So I would like to get into that a little bit here, because the way you originally framed the question and the way I answered it was not about the current coaches. It was about if I'm taking over
guiding
that
their
job.
programs going forward.
And so I'm looking at, okay, which job would I rather have? And part of that is a thing that you've kind of planted a bug in my head about it being easier to build or succeed under the radar than it is under a microscope, right? It's the Indiana versus Nebraska thing. It's easier when people get excited when you win, but are kind of like, okay, whatever. Wins basketball season when you lose.
Yeah, Coach Rhule has never been critiqued the way that he was if his team was 5-1.
Yeah.
I think that was a shock to his system.
100%.
He brought it up in a presser and he moved on, and we didn't think anything of it. But
that's new for him.
Yeah, it's totally new for him.
100%. Because he's never had a job like that before, and most people haven't. Like, that's fine. That's part of the reason you like Nebraska not to be the biggest job somebody's ever had. But still, if you're 5-1 in the NFL, nobody's criticizing you.
Yep.
Like, very few people are criticizing you, right?
I mean, Kansas City could be the ugliest 7-0,
and they are,
and they are,
and they are.
But the Steelers are 6-2, and it's like, yeah, but they're 6-2.
No, yeah, 6-2. We love it. We're good, right? Mike Tomlin's still a genius, right? Like, no issues
I
there.
truly think that shook them. And I said this in the pressers. I said this, Coach Satterfield. You don't have to explain it to us. Just do your thing.
Yeah.
Hey, no, we can score in the fourth quarter if we need to. No, we can score. No. Listen, don't
apologize.
Don't apologize for that, because what you're gonna do subconsciously
is then try to.
Man,
you're gonna try and prove people wrong.
Yep.
Which is why, honestly, frankly, I
said that in real time. This isn't
revisionist history.
No. Because you can see it coming.
100%. Because it's human nature.
Don't listen to us.
Yes. Just do
win.
Your thing.
Just win.
You have to have enough conviction just to keep on plugging, right? And it's human nature, right, to try and prove people wrong. That's also part of the reason, despite the fact that I didn't think it would be helpful to fire Satterfield midseason, part of the reason I didn't want it to happen is because, just don't listen to the mob. Don't listen to the mob. Because at that point, if you fire Satterfield in season, it's going to feel like you just listen to the public pressure.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want that to be how we operate our program, because a lot of times the public is reactionary and emotional, right? That's what fans do. We're emotional. And so I think it's dangerous to put too much stock in a short time period in what's being said there. Now, I do like bringing in an experienced guy like Dana Holgorsen, consultant, analyst, whatever you want to call him, because I do think it shows some conviction of, hey, and some security about, hey, this is who we are, this is what we're about. I'm not worried about bringing somebody else in to that, if I'm Marcus Satterfield, may feel like a threat.
Yeah, so did you read Mike's comments? Because this is where we have to get over ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be disrespectful to Mike, but it's so Dana is here to coach the coaches. Yeah, first of all, I minimize, I don't know if he's being snarky or not.
Sure.
But that happens
all the time.
Everywhere. The time. You ever I seek counseling from other good fathers.
Yeah.
Not because I'm a bad father, but because
you want to get better.
I want to get better.
You always want to be better.
I just want to own my craft, right? Companies do that.
Yeah.
All
you surround yourself with smart people because you want to be smarter.
So why I don't know why we have to think of it like that. I think we're hung up on the semantics of it.
Can I be honest what I think it is? And this is not a slight, because I've had a lot of jobs like this too. Most people who just work regular jobs, if you bring in someone who either does your job or does something very similar to your job and is viewed as better at it, then there's no room for you anymore, right? You're not working these types of organizations. 49ers are a really good example here. The 49ers typically have pretty good offense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good offense. And this is not including their head coach. How many offensive assistants do you think they have on staff?
I don't know. It's 15.
13, 14 if you include Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
14 offensive coaches on that staff.
Yeah.
Is that too many cooks in the kitchen?
No, you don't have to. Like, I get it.
They've got like 5 offensive line coaches.
No, I get it, man.
Literally, it's 4 or 5. I lost count, but they have 4 or 5 offensive line coaches.
I know how. Yeah, I'm with
right?
you. I'm with you.
So, do you think the head offensive line coach is mad when he brings in another assistant offensive line coach? No, that's just help.
Or when he says, "Hey, you go work guard, center guard today. I'm going to take
tackles, right? Or I've got a run game coordinator and I've got a pass game coordinator and then I've got an offensive coordinator. Do you think Kyle Shanahan can't do all the things?
And that doesn't mean that all the guys that they have want to do everything.
Yeah,
some guys just like their niche role.
It's a great example. I didn't like actual on-court coaching basketball. I find kids to be annoying and tiresome and not very good listeners. I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I like doing? I like evaluating talent. I like putting together strength and conditioning programs. I like scouting, right? So I find my niche and I do those things. And I'm like, you can do the on-court coaching without me. I don't need to be a part of that. I don't want to be their head coach. You could bring me in any situation, and I have no interest in taking your job. Just let me do the things I'm good at, right?
And it is because conversely, it's hard to hire people that want your job.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do that.
I mean, and you've got another example. You think, is Matt LaFleur a worse coach because he brought in Robert Saleh midseason? No, he saw a guy that he thought could help.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to bring Robert Saleh. We think he's good at what he does.
I think BC made a fantastic point about the respect coaches have for other coaches.
Sure, yeah.
That
matters.
They just think differently.
Yeah, that matters here.
And you're used to being in a team, and you're used to people telling you that you need to do certain things to achieve certain results.
And let's not pretend
you don't mind people telling you what you can do differently to get the desired outcome. Some people that haven't been coached, they don't like that. It happens at my dinner table. Right? If you've never received criticism, it hits different than if somebody says, you know what? And instead of playing at 212, try 200. You could move better.
Yeah.
Well, you don't like the way I look? Oh man, no. It's like, okay.
About that.
It's like, okay, yeah, I feel better lighter.
Yeah,
or whatever, right?
Better, yeah.
So,
well, and I think it matters again. The source, right? The source of the criticism or the coaching matters. Like Dan Holgorsen.
So does the pre-existing relationship.
100%.
Like for Sad or McGuire or whatever, like the relationship matters.
Right. 100%.
You have to know what the market will bear.
And
for lack of a better analogy.
For sure. But I do think it matters that you bring in a guy in Dana Holgorsen who's been through some of these things.
Yeah.
He's been, I mean, do we not remember?
Yeah, this guy couldn't coach Cam Ward. Listen, man, Google.
Do we not remember how he got his first head coaching job at West Virginia? That was a mess.
Yep.
Do we not remember the fact that he just got let go from Houston last year?
Yep.
Like that was a mess.
How long was he in TCU?
6 months? 8, 10 months? I don't know when he got hired.
We don't really know.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah, guess.
So this is a guy that at least has some experience being in uncomfortable situations. That matters when you're going to a guy currently in an uncomfortable situation or several guys currently in an uncomfortable situation and say, hey, what about this? I brought up quarterbacks with Mitch. You know the other position that Dana Holgorsen has coached extensively? Off the top of your head?
Pardon?
The other position Dana Holgorsen has coached extensively besides quarterbacks?
No.
Wide receivers.
No, Mike meant no snark. Just wanted an answer.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I didn't want to assume.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
it's hard to tell over the text sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two position groups that Dana Holgorsen has coached extensively, wide receivers, quarterbacks. Those are two positions where, maybe this isn't even about Satterfield.
I just didn't want to. I don't want to jump to conclusions.
I don't either.
Right.
But I'm saying, let's be open to the.
That's I'm. Hey,
let's be open to what he might be doing here.
I'm 100%
right.
with you.
He could, maybe he's here to help Satterfield. Maybe he's here to help Glenn Thomas. Maybe he's here to help.
And it's going to help too. I'm not putting him on. I mean, he can call later on if he wants. I'm talking to another parent.
Mm-hmm.
He has some points. He's just going through this whole list. I mean, he has some legit points.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things that have to be addressed if Nebraska wants to move forward. And I think part of what they're doing is to help in the exact thing that he's talking about, which it's all about accountability, right? And from head coach to coordinator, from coordinator to position coach, from position coaches to players. You have to start with direction.
Let me tell you what I'm betting on before we get out of here. What I'm betting on is if Coach Rhule hadn't done anything during the bye week, we'd be freaking out even more. For all the hand-wringing about what's he doing here and what are we paying consultants and whatever, if Coach Rhule had stood pat during the bye week, I can bet you the sky would be falling.
Listen, I would take that plus mortgage.
I'd take out a HELOC to put money on that one.
You're spot on.